And we're back, and we just finished watching 2020's Tenet, which is currently streaming on HBO Max. Is that where we saw it?
Yep, HBO Max.
HBO Max. Rated PG-13. It clocks in at 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's written and directed by Christopher Nolan, and this movie was, to me at least, headache-inducing. It's a very convoluted story and seems to take pride in the fact that it's difficult storytelling. I
agree.
I wanted to like this more. It's a visually pretty movie, not stunning. It's pretty. It's pretty. I mean, there's some nice locales. I want to live on that yacht.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I wasn't really impressed with the way the film looked.
Inception looks better.
Inception looked a lot better. Hell, even the Batman movies he did look better. Prestige looked
way better,
a million times better.
Yeah.
This was an unpleasant viewing experience. I feel like if I go to see a movie, I want to be able to enjoy the movie, and if the story is written in such a way to purposely, not like, I have no problem with mysteries or puzzling things together or figuring things out, but this film seemed to be doing everything in its power to just be unclear, from not only just from the story standpoint, but from just what, like, everybody's whispering. Or they're covered.
The sound was crazy on this thing.
The sound was horrible. I
don't know what
I can't believe the sound was like this on a film that probably cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. And then on top of that, the freaking horrible music throughout the entire movie. Is it like something that he needs to like start a new trend with? Like, I remember when Inception came out, it was wah, and like then everybody's movie had to have wah in it, and now this thing was just more just weird noise and garbage, and it was like really loud, and then suddenly everybody's just like, Tenet, we must protect the future from the past, you know. And it's just like, come on, speak the fuck up. Like I said, and it wasn't even like it was that pretty. The protagonist, which I guess is his name.
That's what he's listed on IMDb. He doesn't have a name.
The dullest freaking protagonist in any movie I've seen in a while. I didn't give a crap about this guy.
Yeah.
If there was a single character that I cared about, it was probably Rob Pattinson's Neil.
Yeah.
And that was only because at the very end he makes some kind of a sacrifice.
Yeah.
But up until that point, he was just another annoying character. What's his name? The guy who played Quicksilver in the Marvel movies. He was in there for a hot second. He seemed like, well, this is an important character. Maybe we should know a little bit more about him. No.
Nope.
We don't know about any of these freaking characters. The only character that we get some sort of backstory for is the bad guy and his wife and his son. Not even the son. Yeah.
I think
he
the
has
most
his son. His son exists.
I feel like the one that got the most was the wife.
Yeah.
Because did the protagonist have a thing for her?
He must have cared about her if he gave a crap whether she lived or died. I mean, I think he felt bad that he used her in order to get access to the bad guy.
Yeah.
But it was still, I don't know.
It was difficult. I mean, I agree. I agree with you. I shouldn't have to do like research and homework before I watch a movie. I feel like the reason for movies are escapism and to be entertained or maybe to learn something. This isn't that. And I listen, I don't know. Is it one of those things where it's like the nostalgia of Nolan? Because
you know what
to me, I'm gonna out myself right now. The best thing he ever did was Prestige, and I'll fight anyone that says otherwise.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I think with the thing with him is, I mean, outside of the Batman movies, he likes making a kind of a puzzle box sort of movie.
But you know what? He's done this. He's done that before more successfully. Like Memento is a great movie.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Memento. The Prestige. Inception, and then now this. And each of those films has some sort of strange aspect to it that leaves you guessing, and then you're like, oh, really, at the end. And it's like a nice shock, a nice surprise. It grabs you and it works.
Right.
And this just didn't. This was just, I'm going to try and twist it and twist it and twist it. And the payoff did not pay off. I didn't know what the hell was going on at all, but I knew he was fighting himself in that goddamn
That hallway
warehouse.
scene. Yeah.
That was like, to me, that was like a hammer to the face with how obvious that was. But it still made no goddamn sense, really. It was just, and then you after we watched the movie, you read that thing where somebody explains the whole thing, and they're basically like, oh, it's the sort of film where you're going to watch it again and again and again.
Yeah.
I will watch a movie again and again and again to get little, added pieces. And
Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Oh, God.
Hell, even Inception, I enjoyed that. I'll watch it again just to see if I can catch other little things that are interesting in it. This, I never want to see again. I never want to see this goddamn movie again because it was aggravating and it wasn't interesting enough.
It wasn't entertaining.
It wasn't entertaining. The action sequences were flat, boring.
Yeah, I wasn't terribly
even when he's
impressed.
like fighting himself, it just looked stupid.
Yeah.
One of them's moving in reverse and one of them isn't. I'm sure that took a lot of planning to figure out. I'll give credit to that level of, we're being creative here.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. It still didn't look good. The final big battle, I didn't know who the hell they were shooting at.
Yeah.
It was like
it's
like we got the red squad and the blue squad and we're gonna attack this town. It's like a bunch of guys in army uniforms running in like this desolate area, shooting at
God knows
nothing.
what. Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know who the hell they were shooting at.
Yeah.
They were just running around shooting, and then all these explosions were happening in reverse. And I was supposed to be like, oh, wow, that's impressive. No, it wasn't impressive. Watching somebody run forward while an explosion goes in reverse, boring.
And then,
everything was boring.
like, I didn't understand, like, at towards the end with the wife. So, are there two of her in this reality? Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was really.
Yeah. She went to the boat. Future her went to the boat
To take care of Seder.
to take care of Seder, and she knew that she went to the boat, and she knew that she wasn't going to be there because she had gone to the mainland with her son. Mm-hmm. And that's why she was doing things, trying to get things done before they came back, because she saw her boat, the boat that she was on, returning to the ship.
But in this reality, when she gets on the ship, he's dead, but he's not on the ship, right? Because they pull him.
Yeah.
I don't. It's. Yeah. I don't know. That's so weird.
He was dead.
And how do you account for two versions of the same person in the same reality?
You're making the mistake that there were different realities. There weren't different realities. It was just when somebody goes through the turnstile.
Yes, no, you're right. But there's two in this timeline.
There are no timelines.
Okay.
You go through the turnstile, and now suddenly you are walking backwards through time. Mm-hmm. That's why when you look on the other side of the glass, you would see yourself in the past.
Right.
Because you're
Or in the future, depending on which side.
Because you're walking backwards in time. They walked backwards in time. They got into a shipping crate. They stayed on that shipping crate for like a week.
Yeah.
And they got off. Their past selves are still walking around living their lives like they normally would. But now they are walking backwards. And then they can go through another turnstile. And now they are walking forwards in time. Mm-hmm. And there's still two of them. They're two totally separate things. And there was like that whole little.
So how do you explain two people at the same time?
There's nothing to explain. You're just there.
That's weird, though.
No.
But so then where does
every time travel movie?
Who was the wife? What was her name?
No.
what was her name? Oh my God, I forgot.
Skinny long neck.
My God, yes.
She had she was like a giraffe. Very graceful neck.
Cat.
So
So what does Cat do?
what do you mean what she do?
Like, what is Cat? Obviously, one cat will be with her son.
Right.
But where does the other cat go?
The cat that killed her husband?
Yeah.
She got on the boat with the other guy and they drove away.
But to go where?
Nowhere. They just continue on through their normal timeline.
So then that cat can never see her son.
No, eventually she will catch up.
Yeah. This is, now I have a headache, even bigger headache.
Picture a dot, right? And the dot's moving along a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the dot decides to go through the turnstile. And now the dot's moving backwards along. It's the same. It's the dot's line, but it's moving parallel to its past self.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back again. So now it's like, imagine like a really long S.
Like a conveyor belt?
It's like, it's like an S, like a really long, imagine a long S. It goes.
But then what happens at the end?
Eventually she moves past the point where she went back in time.
And then what?
Nothing. She just lives her life.
I don't know. You know what? I mean, you're explaining it to me, but like my brain is like, I reject you, Satan.
It's honestly, it's not that difficult. Here, look at The Wire.
No. Don't explain it to me. Listen to me. I don't care about this movie. Michael Caine makes a very brief appearance.
Yeah, he was in it for a hot second.
He was in it for a hot second. He was pretty much exposition guy. Martin Donovan also in it for a hot second.
Oh my God, info dumps everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. So it's like,
and they don't
so you're
help.
you're trying to do this movie and you're doing these info dumps, and yes, they do not help. Yeah.
And if you're gonna do an info dump, enunciate. It's like listening to our children mumble their way through a presentation at school.
Yeah, this was not good. I'm glad I didn't pay for it, which is probably the only way to enjoy this. If you haven't seen it, avoid Tenet is my advice. I would give this movie.
No, you know what? Go see it if you want. If you're like one of those people who likes inscrutable things and trying to figure it out, and if you like Nolan movies, that's probably up your alley. Time travel movies are difficult. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Primer was great." I watched Primer and I fell asleep twice. I thought it was the most boring movie ever. Other time travel movies.
You prestige yourself, Morty.
That's
great.
Other time travel movies are fantastic. This was not one of them. This felt like a physics test. It was boring.
And then what was the deal with the Indian woman? You know what? I don't want to know.
Jesus, I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah. You know what? Never mind. I forget I even asked.
It's like, oh, I'm smarter than you. Oh, no, I'm not smarter than you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm smarter than you now. Okay, you're dead.
Yeah. That was weird. And it was like...
It's like, get out. Why are you even here?
I know. And at one point, you're like, what did you say to me? You're like, is she taking orders from him now? Or is he taking orders from her?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't know. Don't ask me. I've stopped caring.
It really was just incomprehensible. Was he like a CIA agent in the beginning?
He was in the beginning.
And then he dies.
And then he died.
And then suddenly they're just like, oh... It was all a big test, and now you're part of our secret organization.
Secret.
He's just like, okay, you're gonna have to live in a windmill for a week. Okay.
Yeah.
It was like, what?
Yeah. What? But then I thought he founded the organization, right?
You eventually discover that, he was the founder of the organization, and Is the whole purpose of the organization just to protect the MacGuffin? I
guess. I mean, what else do they do?
Yeah, I mean, they got the MacGuffin, so what the hell? What is the purpose of the organization anymore?
I guess they do that covert. that sweet covert shit for the U.S. government. I don't know. And why would a Brit be working for the Americans?
Well, I think it wasn't.
Because Ives wasn't American, and neither was Neil.
I don't think it was an American organization because it was Tenet.
And Michael Caine was part of it, I think, right? Because he was giving him all that.
Was he?
I think so. I mean, you don't just give your American Express card black to just anybody.
Yeah,
he's like, get yourself some nice clothes.
Yeah, he's like, Brooks Brothers won't cut it.
This is the big leagues.
A slap in the face to Brooks Brothers. Nolan's got a vendetta against them.
I mean, do we even talk about Nolan? I don't know. I loved a lot of his earlier stuff.
No, I have liked,
and I appreciate that he's such a Luddite, and I love that he rejects technology at every turn. But at the same time, I feel like
I think I liked everything he's done aside from this and the last Batman movie.
Although Bane came out of Batman, and that was we still talk about Bane.
Only thing worth watching in the last Batman movie. The rest of it was just
trash,
trash heap. And this is also just a big confusing trash heap.
But at least from the third Batman, you could take away Bane.
I've loved.
You could take Bane out and enjoy that, because we still make that funny voice to each other.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
You have my permission to die. He was the best.
He was the best.
I don't.
The movie should have just been him. I don't even know why they put that Marie Cotillard, whatever her name is, in it.
Yeah, that was pointless.
I was like, what? What is going on?
That's.
Let's not discuss it.
That was just him wanting to get out of a contract, I think. Seriously, it's like, I gotta make another goddamn Batman movie.
I know.
All right, let's just throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Oh, it did phenomenally well, didn't it?
I mean, yeah, everybody watched it.
They all did.
Even though it just made zero sense. And guess what? This is a good companion piece, I guess, to the last Batman movie, because it makes very little sense too. God, I just can't get over how boring those fight scenes.
Yeah, they weren't really good. I mean, if
that last battle was really just like, what the hell is going on? They didn't show any bad guys really. Like, what were they shooting at?
Were they shooting at themselves in a different time? I don't even know.
I don't even know. Sense.
I don't even know.
Why did they have to do a time pincer movie?
I don't know.
It's like they were like, oh, we came up with a really cool term, time pincer. All right, let's
work that.
Let's work that into the script somehow.
I don't know. I don't know.
And like another thing, like when they were running, even the guys who were running like forward were like doing like this weird choppy walk. It was
yeah. I don't know.
What are they doing? Why does everybody look so awkward? And who are these characters? What the hell was freaking Quicksilver just appeared out of nowhere? It was like, is that freaking Quicksilver? He's got a beard. And then there was
he looks like he's all jacked and shit.
And then there was like that girl trooper who seemed to just get a lot of shots of her, but she was like pointless. Like they didn't give her any lines or anything aside from over there, shoot over there.
Yeah.
This was just.
It was torture. Yeah.
It was aggravating. I don't ever want to see this. I'm sure you. I'm sure some people.
I want to see it again, but
if this is your type of bag where you want to figure stuff out, you may want to watch it a couple of times to try and figure it out. I'm tapping out at one. I did not like this film, and there was really. I like mystery movies. I like movies that make me think and try and figure stuff out, and even once other people find them confusing, because you thought Inception was kind of confusing.
Yeah, but it definitely, it's easier to read than this. Absolutely.
I understood that movie from the get-go, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Mm-hmm. This, no way. This,
I fought sleep for this.
Yeah, for me, this was just not worth revisiting to figure things out. And like the big twists, I pretty much nailed
most of them,
even without having to go back in time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that shocking. Yeah, he's fighting himself. Yeah, she's the girl jumping off the boat. Whatever.
Yeah. That stuff aside, if you're a film student, on a technical level, would you recommend this movie?
No.
No.
It's not like it has fantastic cinematography. The sound is awful.
The sound is terrible. How did this pass the grade?
I don't think any of the performances were interesting at all. I mean, what's his name? The protagonist.
Oh, John David Washington.
John David Washington wasted. He was not interesting at all. Robert Pattinson, not really interesting. I mean, he has a little slight uptick towards the end where you realize what's going on with him. Kenneth Branagh was just, I'm evil.
Yeah.
Not really a nuanced performance at all.
Which is unfortunate because I like Branagh, but he wasn't interesting in this at all. Yeah, I agree.
He was just I'm an evil man.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the wife's performance.
The wife had probably the most
layered and nuanced performance, in the whole thing. But this wasn't really supposed to be a movie about her. It was supposed to be about the protagonist. So I don't,
And that's what I think the problem is. You want the lead to be the most interesting guy in the room, and he's just not.
Yeah.
He's just really not.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, as far as performances, I don't think John David's performance was bad. I just think that he was limited by the script and the story. I mean, the story, like you said, it's extremely convoluted, and you shouldn't have to sit there and try to piece together, at least not in this particular way. Like, it was just way too much to really.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to take notes when I'm watching a goddamn movie.
Yeah. I mean, some people do, but
I'll be honest, even if I took notes, it still would not be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think from the beginning this just wasn't what it was hyped up to be. And it's unfortunate because, again, it's like the whole nostalgia thing where you remember what great movies this filmmaker can make, but this isn't one of them.
Could you really? For me, nostalgia is like as if he was making movies in like the 80s or early 90s.
No, but nostalgia and the fact.
Chris Nolan he's been around for what, 15 years maybe.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he's made quite a number of movies, and it's spanned a good portion of time. I mean, his first movie was in 1998, so he's been around for a while. He's made a lot of movies. I'm gonna be honest. Did we see Dunkirk? Was that the one that I just wasn't? I was like, I wasn't a fan of Dunkirk. I wasn't a fan of this either. I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty.
You know what was funny about Dunkirk? I think Dunkirk, it shows his need to do something sort of like out of the ordinary. Mm-hmm. The way that he played with time in Dunkirk.
Yeah, he definitely has this thing about time, right? And even Interstellar,
Interstellar. I forgot about Interstellar.
Like, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, that wasn't bad, but at least that looked.
That looks really nice. Yeah.
And I mean, I know people got all, what is this bullshit about love being important or something? Whatever, man, get over it. It's a science fiction story.
Yeah.
Just stop taking things so seriously. At least it was a kind of a straight story. And there is that whole time
thing in that movie too.
Reaching into the past, whatever. And then in Dunkirk, the fact that things were played in different times, which was completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
and just sort of ruined what could have been great if it was just a straight linear movie.
Yeah, that was our complaint, right? Because I remember I watched it with you, right? Didn't I? And I was just like, this could have been so much better. Because the whole time thing just really was like, what?
It wasn't bad. It was just like, why was that?
Why were these decisions made?
That way?
Yeah,
it was just stupid. There was no payoff for anything. It was just we're just doing it at a different time levels or whatever.
Yeah. So I still say If you want to watch a Nolan movie, go see The Prestige, because that's yeah.
Prestige is far more entertaining, and it's got David Bowie in it.
And it's got David. Oh, yes. But even like Memento, I thought was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Memento's great.
the first of the Batmans was good.
Well, the first two.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think Bane was my favorite thing of that third one. He freaking breaks
Bane
Christian Bale's back. I'm like, oh.
Bane was the only good thing in the third one.
He really was.
The rest of it was garbage.
Yeah.
Inception was very good. I like that.
Inception was good.
Anyway, what do you give this thing?
A 4. I would give this a 4. This is on par with Lady Bird in my book.
I would say 3.5 or 4.
I was going to say it's got to be below average.
It is below average.
Yeah, it's got to be below average.
You know what? I'm going to give this a 3 because I genuinely dislike this movie. It's not like it just wasn't good. I dislike this movie. Like if I see this on cable again, I'm going to change the channel.
Yeah, I
have
actually
watched movies that I didn't like. Like if something comes on cable that I didn't like, I'll still watch it usually if there's nothing else on.
Right.
It's a visually interesting movie. I did not like Scott Pilgrim, but I'll leave it on because it's pretty.
It is pretty. I hate that movie though.
Yeah.
Although, that's an interesting question. If I had to watch this or Scott, I'd probably watch Scott Pilgrim again.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. And I like Edgar Wright a lot, too.
Anyway, let's wrap this thing up.
You look so defeated.
I
really wanted to like this more, too.
I enjoy Chris
But you know what's telling? A lot of people, this didn't get the fanfare that a lot of other Nolan movies have made. So I'm wondering, is he in a decline? Because I have to be honest, his last couple of movies have not moved me in the slightest. I mean, I don't remember the last time I was excited for a Nolan movie. And Inception came out in 2010. So that tells you a lot.
Well, since then it was
after Inception,
Interstellar, Dunkirk, and then this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been
a while since he's been exciting.
Definitely been a decline as far as good stuff from him.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. I'm not saying Dunkirk was a bad movie.
It's not bad. It's just it could have been better.
It was stupid to do that weird time switch in it, and it didn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's disappointing. I mean, here's a guy that he can be an excellent storyteller. I think, you know what? I think a lot of his fame went to his head, maybe.
I don't know about that. Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe. He definitely, after those Batman movies, it was just like, here is all the money you could ever possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Make a movie, and he, to his credit, he knocked it out of the park with Inception.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just like carte blanche, and I don't know, maybe he's expecting, he thinks like it's expected that there's some sort of like weird story element where he puts things out of order. Maybe he finds that
he definitely
even though it's not.
He definitely likes the idea of messing with time, right? I think that's a common thread in a lot of his movies, even the ones we don't like. But
pretty much everything but the Batman movies, right? I mean, Memento. Time told through like twisted memory.
He did Insomnia with Pacino and Robin Williams.
Oh, he did that? I don't remember.
He directed that. He didn't write the script, but he directed that.
I don't know. I don't remember that at all, really.
I've seen bits and pieces. You know what? We should probably sit and watch that. Somebody told me, I think maybe in like the film discussion group, that I would like that movie. I don't know. We should probably check that out. But and of course, to me, his magnum opus is Prestige. That from start to finish is such an amazing movie.
A lot of flashbacks, a lot of dealing with memory and
time
and perception and perspective.
But that worked. That worked
really well.
Really well.
The whole like warring journals, you know, and
I didn't see the ending coming.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, That was really good.
Yeah, it was very clever. It was very, very clever. It was
Like if that's ever on, I'm watching it.
Yeah, same. And I would say it's like intricate, like the theatrical version. I don't know what about these stupid later day director's cuts, but like the theatrical version of like The Sixth Sense. Like the theatrical version of The Sixth Sense to me is like perfect movie. It's definitely in my top 10.
Now the one they put on TV,
not the crap they put on now.
He gives the whole film away
In the first half hour.
Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you add that stupid scene back in?
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that Nolan goes back to being exciting.
Just, you know what? Give the whole telling stories out of order a break and just tell me a straight story, man.
Yeah. Or maybe do something out of your comfort zone. Maybe direct a comedy.
I don't think he's capable of that.
He should. He should do it. I you know what? I am a big proponent
do any of his films have comedic elements to them?
Not really, or not intentionally, I don't think. I mean, I think we all took a piss about The Dark Knight and how Christian Bale did that voice. But I don't think that was meant to be funny.
That was not meant to be funny.
But we laughed our asses off when we heard it. We were just like, come on, you're putting me on with this.
No, I loved it. It brought me a level of amusement, but I liked it. And seriously, if Bane is standing next to me and he's speaking to me in that voice, I'm not laughing at it.
Yeah, no.
He was terrifying.
He was terrifying.
Yeah.
Hey, he's built like a freaking Mack truck, and he breaks that dude's back.
Yeah. And you know what's
God
funny?
Damn.
Tom Hardy's not a big guy.
He's not.
No, he's like my height.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, but however they filmed him, he's impressive.
He looked like a tank.
He did.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Wrapping up attempt, take two.
Okay, so you gave it a 3, you said?
I gave it a 3.
A 3. I give it a 4. I would say pass to anyone out there. However, if you're a film student and a lover of films and you need to see this because it's part of the Nolan repertoire, I guess go see it. It's currently streaming on HBO Max. If you're a fan of one of the actors, I guess maybe go see it.
If you're a fan of really hard puzzles or
this might be for you.
Things that aspire to be really hard puzzles, but are actually just convoluted bullshit, then yeah, go watch this movie.
Or if you want to take our advice, skip this. And well, at least mine. I can't talk for you. My advice is skip this and hit up Insomnia or Memento or The Prestige or even the first Batman Begins, which are...
The Dark Knight was good too.
The Dark Knight was good, and it's got that great performance by Heath Ledger.
I like The Dark Knight better than The Batman Begins, actually.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
like them both
they
equally.
honestly, they could have saved Two-Face for the third movie, but
yeah,
it was still good.
Agreed. Or you like Inception, which was also good.
Inception, also very good.
Also very good.
The whole concept of going into dreams, always fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah.
How dreams are awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap this up. So my advice is skip it. What do you say? If you meet those other criteria,
just skip it. Don't, even if you like all that shit. Skip it. It's not worth it. It really isn't. It's
a long movie. It's 2.5 hours.
It's a long investment that you could be doing something else. Or
watch something way funner.
Go watch like Warrior on HBO.
Yes.
Excellent television show. Lots of violence and
completely in our wheelhouse.
Yes.
All right.
We should have watched that instead.
Yeah, we should have. Oh well. You know what? We had to watch this just to get it out of our system, and plus it's a Nolan film, so I feel like he's made a huge impact in the last 20 years. So
yeah, he's earned a viewing.
Yeah, but if we can spare you people, heed our advice.
If you're not really a Nolan fan, it's not really worth watching.
Yeah, and if you feel like this is gonna tie you up in any kind of way, shape, or form, skip it. It's not worth the aggravation.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. That's it from us, and we bid you all a good night. Good night.
Good night.